Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone to rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. And I just wanted to do a quick little video going into, the scripture, basically going into how the angels of the Lord are always encamped round about us, man. Hey, if you're new, you know, just really coming into the truth. Um, hey, man, we know that we're coming into some troubling times, all right, of Jacob's trouble, and we know that even the elect are going to be tried. All right, the scriptures say the elect shall scarcely be saved, so we know that means that the elect, all right, we're gonna have to go through the fire, man. We're gonna have to the spiritual fire, meaning the trials and tribulations, you know. And when all hell's breaking loose, we may be on the run. Matter of fact, we are going to be on the run. The scriptures say that in the Apocrypha. We're going to be. I forget the word, but it's the word for. Yeah, scriptures say we're going to be as pilgrims in the earth. You know, so we're going to be on the run, man, and we're going to have to be evading these authorities. And I was thinking about that earlier, and it made me think of this example in Second Kings. All right, and we know in this time, what, I'm just gonna read it, and I'm gonna explain it as I read. Just and then this is an example of how the Lord can deliver us when we're being pursued by enemies. All right, now wanted to get a little backstory on this. All right, so that we know, the background of everything that's going on. All right, so basically, I put up an article. Where'd that article go? Put up a I put up an article going into that's going into the background of what's happening in this chapter, and I'm just going to read a little bit of it first before I get into the chapter. All right, so it says Elisha and the Syrian army. All right, so I'm going to read a little bit. It says, once there was a great prophet named Elisha who lived long ago in the land of Israel. It says he taught the people to worship the Most High and to obey God's laws. It says in his house at Dothan, Elisha often knelt to talk to the Lord and listen to his word. There he prayed that the Israelites might be protected from their fierce enemies, the Syrians. For a long time, Ben-Hadad, the cruel king of Syria, had been at war with the people of Israel. So we were at war with the Syrians. All right. It says, now he planned a surprise attack, which he hoped would crush them once and for all. With his mighty, well-equipped army ready to fight, he was sure that this time they could wipe out Israel's army. He called the captains of his army together, and they carefully planned where they would camp and how they would trap the unsuspecting Israelite army. King Ben-Hadad warned his men that not a word must leak out. The whole success of their plan depended on secrecy and a surprise attack. It says, while the Syrians secretly plotted, Elisha stood quietly by the window of his house. Then he called his servant and said to him, alright, so that's a little backstory on what we're about to read. Alright, we're at war with the Assyrians. Okay, the Assyrians were, alright, trying to take down, alright, our army. Okay, so Second Kings, and this is dealing with Elisha, alright, who was, basically Elijah. He succeeded Elijah. He was Elijah's understudy. All right. So this is 2 Kings 6 and 8. It says, then the king of Syria warred against Israel and took counsel with his servants, saying, in such and in such a place shall be my camp. All right. So he's telling his people where they're going to ambush the Israelites at. Right. That's where that such a place was. Okay, Salakia. So that's where that. I don't know if it actually tells us where is it at. You know what? I think it does in this article. me see. See if it. So, give me one moment. See if it tells us where that place was. I read it earlier. I forgot where that place was. Okay. Well, it's not telling us. But regardless, all right. You get what's going on. All right. The king of Assyria. He told his people where they were going to hide out to wait to ambush the Israelite army. So verse 9 says, and the man of the Most High, talking about Elisha, sent unto the king of Israel, all right, Jeroham, saying, beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down. It says, so he just warned, this king is talking about Joram or Jeroham, okay? Yeah, Jeroham, it says, the name Joram is a shortened form of Jeroham. And during this time of Elisha, there were two kings, as you can see right here. There are two kings in the Bible referred to as King Jehoram, Joram. It says the first was the son of King Jehoshaphat, and he ruled in the southern kingdom of Judah from 853 to 841 BC. The other king, Jehoram, was the son of the wicked king Ahab, and he ruled in the northern kingdom of Israel from 852 to 841. It says the name Joram was a shortened version of Jehoram. Complicating matters is the fact that both Jehorams were brothers-in-law to each other. Alright. Now when you keep going down, when you keep reading down in this article, this what we're reading of in 2 Kings is talking about Jerome, who was the king of the northern kingdom. Alright, he was a son of King Ahab. Okay. Now, because Elisha was in, when you read it, Elisha, like I said, he was living in Dothan. When you look at Dothan, or when you bring Dothan up, it is, alright, Dothan, this is Dathan, it's two wells, a place in northern Palestine, 12 miles north of Samaria, the home of Elisha. So this was talking the king that Elisha sent his servant to, alright, was the son of King Ahab. It says Jerome, alright, so verse 9 again, and the man of the Most High sent unto the king of Israel, saying, beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down. And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of the Most High told him, and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once or twice. So he didn't go there. Okay. Now the wording is a little confusing, and in the Old English. So if you just go to the cross references, so in the NLT it says, so the king of Israel would send word to the place indicated by the man of the Most High. Time and again Elisha warned the king so that he would be on the alert there. Okay, so he didn't go there. Alright, he didn't go there. It says, verse 11, it says, therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing. And he called his servants and said unto them, will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? Because he was accusing his captains of betraying him. Because as we read in this PDF article, when they were planning to take us down, they were doing it in secret. So the fact that they didn't pass by where they were waiting to ambush them, because they had assumed that they were going to pass by that area. So the fact that they didn't do that, the king of Assyria was assuming that one of his servants betrayed him. And when you keep reading, verse verse 12, it says, and one of his servants said, none, my lord, O king. All right, the king that this is talking about is Ben-Hadad. All right, it says, but Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. All right, so one of the king's servants told him, look, Elisha's a prophet, man, and he knows. He's essentially saying he knows, man. All right, they knew about the prophets back then, so he warned him that Elisha was the one that was informing the Israelites of their plans. That's why it says, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. Meaning, you can't escape. You can't escape from the Lord's sight, man. All right, the Lord was dealing with Elisha, and he was. I was reading the different miracles that Elisha was doing, and he was constantly, warning and warning the different, the different kings of certain things that were coming. He was a prophet. He was a seer. All right, and he was known back then. He did a lot of different miracles. All right, so verse 13 says, and he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. It says, you see, going back to what I was saying in the beginning, we're going to be in scenarios. We're going to be in scenarios where we're going to be surrounded. Okay, as you see, they had sent to get Elisha, man. We're going to be in scenarios like that where they're going to try to get us. We know that we're going to be on the run. We're going to be wanted, all right, for openly rebelling against this beast system. They're going to try to get us, and we got to be mentally prepared for that. All right, and these are good scriptures to, always keep on your mind. All right. Verse 15, and when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? And so Elisha's servant, I forget his name, I believe it starts with a G. I think they have it in this PDF. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to look that up. I forget his servant's name. But Elisha's servant, he was startled, man. All right, he was a little scared. Okay, because essentially what happened was he seen he seen a whole army surrounding them. All right, so he didn't know what was about to happen, man. And like I said in the beginning, we're gonna be in scenarios where there's gonna be tanks. There may be tanks lined up, got helicopters in the sky. They got they're beaming down the bright ass light, making you the spotlight. Policemen with riot shields and guns aimed. We're gonna be in different scenarios like that, man. Just like Elisha and his servant were. All right, it says what? Behold, an host, an army, compassed the city both with horses and chariots. So they were surrounded. Okay, in verse 16, it says, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And who are they that be with us? The angels. All right. It says, and Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and meaning he allowed him to see the angels. He allowed him to see that realm. It says, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. And we know that that's talking about the chariots. All right, what the so-called UFOs is what they call them today. That's what it's talking about right here. And the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. So it's that simple, man. It's that simple. You could be surrounded by tanks, helicopters, and then all of a sudden all of them go blind. And you just run away. And they ain't gonna know where you went. You run right by him. Okay. Verse not to mention that the angels could take him out. Okay, that's why I said they that be with them are more. I mean, they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Okay, they ain't the Lord ain't nothing to play with, man. He's on our side, man. Everything that we go through is just gonna be a test of our faith. All right, but the scriptures say the elect shall scarcely be saved. Meaning we gonna be going through it. We just gonna make it. We're just Lord's will. We a part of that number. We just gonna make it, but we still gonna make it at the end of the day. All right, when the odds are low, when the odds looked like they're not in your favor, all right, then that's when the Lord's going to help us out, man. So verse 18 says, and when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. And Elisha said unto them, this is not the way, and neither is this the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom ye seek. But he led them to Samaria. So he just Yaquabbed them. All right, he was saying, yo, I'm not the one, because they can't see. All they can do is hear. So he was saying, yo, I'll take you to where the dude you're looking for. It said, and it came to pass when they were come to Samaria that Elisha said, Lord, open the eyes of these men that they may see. And the Lord opened their eyes, and they saw, and behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. And the king of Israel said unto Elisha, when he saw them, my father, shall I smite them? Shall I smite them? All right, so that goes to show you, man. The king was asking this of Elisha. All right. Hey, look, when you go back to the PDF, when you go back and you read a little bit down, so we just covered all of this, everything that it's talking about, right? So when you go to right here, it says he led them right into the city of Samaria, and then he prayed that their sight might be restored. The Syrians looked around in fear and terror. They were surrounded by the menacing spears of the Israelite army. Okay, that's why he led them to Samaria. It says, excitedly King Joram sent for Elisha. What an opportunity! The whole Syrian army is prisoners, but he didn't dare act without Elisha's word. That's what we just read. That's what we just read when he said, what verse was that in? Yeah, 21. When he saw them, my father, shall I smite them? Shall I smite them? So he was looking for Elisha's say on what to do. Goes to show you, at a point in time, man, the prophets were held in a high regard. All right, even though this was a wicked king, right here he was listening to Elisha. All right, it says, and he answered, thou shalt not smite them. Wouldest thou smite those whom thou hast taken captive with thy sword and with thy bow? Set bread and water before them, that they may eat and drink, and go to their master. And he prepared great provision for them. And when they had eaten and drunk, he sent them away, and they went to their master. So the bands of Syria came no more into the land of Israel. All right, so he had it so that show mercy unto the captured ones, let them go, and then the Assyrians knew not to mess with us no more. All right, but the point was that when Elisha was essentially the Syrian king was plotting. He plotted to go get Elisha. He gathered up a whole army, and that's what's about to happen in these times, man. They gonna plot on us. We know that some of our faces are gonna be on the news, on TV. They gonna plot to come get us. Someone may rat you out where you're hiding. You may be on the run. You may be getting chased by cars and whatnot, and you may get backed into a corner, man. But just know that corner you in has a multitude of angels surrounding you. That's the point, that we're never alone. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is always with us. Like I said, they that be with us are more that be with them. You can't see it. All right, but they're all around about us. All right. Now, and you go, when you read, let me see, I think it's Romans 8. I had a quick precept I was going to get. Alright, oh, and just for edification's sake, I'm going to get Elisha's name in the Hebrew. Alright, it says, I believe that's Yashai. Allah Yashai. Alright, it says the Most High salvation, so that'll be Allah Yashai. Right? It says the Most High salvation, the great prophet who succeeded Elijah. Alright? So that's his name. Now when you go to Romans 8, and I think I'm going to go to, I think it's verse, let me see. Yep, Romans 8 and 31, it says, what shall we then say to these things? If the Most High be for us, who can be against us? Alright, so it don't matter. It don't matter who's against us. It don't matter if Esau got the most advanced technology and that he has, man, coming to get us. It don't matter. Alright, if Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is with us, ain't nobody can stand against us, man. Alright, and that's a mentality that we gotta have going into these times. Alright, and so I just wanted to read a few verses in there, get that backstory. Lord's will, it was edifying, man, because we're gonna, need these precepts are gonna need to be engraved in our mind, man. When all hell breaks loose, we might not have our scriptures, but we can definitely think on these different scenarios of how these men of the Lord were protected, to give us some peace of mind and comfort in those days. So Lord's willing, this is edifying. Want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to those for elect. Shalom.